This is very serious. Jesus is begging for you, only you. Important alert. Very bad news for you. If you leave this, you will cry so much. Open it quickly. Archangel Michael says, "My beloved child, this is very serious. Jesus is begging for you, only you. Your name has been cried out before the throne. Heaven hath been stirred, and the winds are turning. What you are about to read is not accidental. This is not a coincidence. This was orchestrated in the quiet hours of the night, when the world slept and only the angels were awake. A scroll was opened. A whisper reached the heavens. You were written into a divine conversation. Someone is on their knees, crying out your name. Important alert. Very bad news for you. If you leave this, you will cry so much. Open it quickly. Because this is about something that has been hidden. Something buried deep beneath soft words and false comfort. But time is up for the deceiver. The cloak is slipping. Finally, God is exposing this woman. She who smiled with two faces. She who whispered one thing and thought another. You suspected, haven't you? You felt the pull in your spirit, the unease in your chest. That wasn't paranoia. That wasn't imagination. That was God tapping your shoulder and warning your heart. This woman has been gathering information, planting words, pretending to be what she is not. The spirit within her is not of light. And now God has seen enough. What you thought with loyalty was manipulation. What you believed was concern with surveillance. She has stood in your house and smiled in your face, but her thoughts were far from kindness. The truth is, she has been involved in something that could have cost you everything. You were never supposed to see it. But now, because of grace, because of mercy, you are being given a glimpse behind the veil. You are being handed a divine key. Don't dismiss this. Don't delay this. There is something in your atmosphere that needs to be confronted. God will be with you. Rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You just have to trust God and pray to Him. There is protection all around you now. Even though your eyes cannot see it, heaven has been dispatched. Angels are walking the perimeter of your life. Michael has been summoned. There has been a cry from your soul that reached the commander of light. Archangel Michael is standing at the gate now, sword drawn, speaking your name into the clouds. And still, through all of this, Jesus is begging for you. Not because you are forgotten, but because you are chosen. Because you matter in ways you cannot even comprehend. Because your tears were not wasted. Because your sleepless nights echoed through heaven's throne room like prayers. Every sigh you've breathed became a command for heaven to move. And now, this message finds you not randomly, but with purpose. There was a moment recently when you almost gave up. When you thought, what is the point? That was when the darkness tried to close in. That was when someone around you, a woman, smelled your exhaustion and came closer, pretending to offer you comfort, but really trying to lure you into silence. That was not love. That was strategy. You were being spiritually hunted, not cared for. But God saw it. God intercepted it. And now, the truth must come. This woman is not just anyone. She has influence. She has access. And she has tried to control how others see you. There are things she said behind closed doors that would shock you. Words spoken as if they were truths, but they were laced with poison. She has whispered into the ears of others with jealousy disguised as concern. She knows how to cry and pretend to be victim, but in the spirit, Her cloak is torn and the rot is showing. And here is what's worse. She did it in the name of love. She said she was protecting you. She claimed you were unstable. She sowed doubt where there should have been peace. But the Holy Spirit is not mocked. What was done in the dark is being dragged into the light. This isn't to scare you. This is to free you. Because if you had continued believing her, if you had let her keep access to your life, she would have taken something very precious from you, something that can never be replaced. You are being saved right now, at this very moment, from a trap that had been woven for months. A setup, a spiritual noose disguised as advice. She didn't just want to ruin your reputation. She wanted your faith broken. She wanted to see you question your own worth. And worst of all, she used your past to justify it. She knows what you've gone through. She knows your weak points. She knows the moments you've regretted. And she has quietly stored all that information to use it in case you ever rose too high. But God saw her heart. And the Lord said, "Enough." Even now she doesn't think you will find out. She's smiling, perhaps even texting you sweet things. She's trying to keep her position close to you because she's afraid of losing control. But she doesn't realize this message is her warning. Her time is running out. And as this unfolds, you will notice something. You will see people begin to treat you differently. Not because you've changed, but because she's no longer able to influence how they see you. The fog is lifting. Eyes are opening. And her stories are unraveling. But what does this mean for you? It means a door is opening. A new phase is beginning. And that scares her. Because without control, she has nothing. Her power over you was always tied to your silence and your trust. But now that trust has been broken, heaven is shifting your surroundings. Someone else is coming into your life soon who will offer you healing. And when they do, she will sense her time is up and she will try one last trick. She may even use illness, guilt, or tears to draw you back in. Don't fall for it. You've already been forgiven for walking away. God is pleased when you protect what He has built in you. She was not assigned by heaven. She was planted by confusion. But the season of confusion is over. The trumpet has sounded in your life, and it's time for clarity. You may feel fear. You may feel grief. You may question whether this is truly real. But look at the pattern. Look at the fruit. Look at how you feel after interacting with her. Not peace, not joy, but heaviness and anxiety and constant second-guessing. That is not of God. And now, the Spirit says, walk away. You will be guided. You will not be alone. Even if you lose friendships, even if others question your decision, even if she cries and says you misunderstood, remember this moment. Remember that Jesus is begging for you, only you. Because He sees the end from the beginning. And He knows what nearly happened to you. He knows how close you came to falling into a spiritual sleep you may not have woken up from. The time between now and the next 7 days is crucial. You will be tested. She may reach out more. She may pretend to apologize. She may offer something valuable, maybe even a gift. Don't accept it. Anything that comes with spiritual strings is a trap. You must cut ties fully and spiritually. No more half-bound connections. No more tolerating her just because of history. History is not a reason to hold on to toxicity. This next phase requires clean hands and a pure heart. And you cannot step into your promise while dragging a snake into the temple. There is something you've been praying for. A breakthrough. A shift. It's closer than you think. But the only thing stopping it was her presence. She was blocking the flow. She was interfering with the divine download. And now, by letting her go, you are unclogging the spiritual pipeline of blessing. You are making room. Room for healing. Room for peace. Room for divine realignment. God says this with the final test. You passed. Because even though you didn't have the proof, you had the nudge. And you listened. Heaven rejoices in your obedience. There will be a sign within 3 days. Something small, but unmistakable. It may be a dream. It may be a message from someone unexpected. It may be a strange silence that suddenly feels peaceful. That will be your confirmation. That will be God's whisper. You did the right thing. And from then on, watch how your life begins to change. Watch how people begin to see you differently. Watch how opportunities begin to open again. Watch how the tension in your chest begins to loosen. Because her influence was like a shadow over your light. And now the light is breaking through. Now the dawn is returning. This is your spiritual season of cleansing. You've been too kind. You've tolerated too much. But God did not design you to be drained. God designed you to shine. And anyone who dims that light must be removed, no matter how sweet their words, no matter how familiar their face. She was never for you, but heaven is. And even now, as you read this, heaven is weeping for the time you've lost, but also celebrating for the time you've gained. Because the worst is over. And now, all that's left is the healing. Take this message seriously. Jesus is still begging for you. Not because he doubts your worth, but because the battle for your peace was intense. And the enemy tried hard to convince you to stay quiet, to keep trusting the wrong people, to stay small. But now you know. And now, you are free, my beloved child. This is not just a moment in time. This is a divine crossing, a holy shift. The heavens have recorded this very instant. The ink of your obedience has stained the pages of the book of life, and the angels have written beside your name. They listened. They let go. They chose truth. That alone has unlocked what hath been held back. And you must understand something else. This woman wasn't working alone. There are 2 others. Yes, a 2. One hides more quietly. You wouldn't think to question them, because they are passive, almost harmless in appearance. But they have been relaying your words, your moods, even your tears, to her. Not to comfort you, but to study you. She asks them questions. She listens carefully to what they say about you. Every time you confided in this second person, your information was taken like water from a well and poured into the wrong hands. But you didn't know. You wanted so badly to trust. You just wanted someone to hear you without judgment. You were tired. So tired. And you let your guard down because the pain was too much to carry alone. You thought, maybe this time it's different. Maybe someone truly cares. But they didn't. They only pretended to. And the third person, their heart is more complicated. They love you, but in a selfish way. They want access to you, but not the responsibility of loving you rightly. So they allowed the gossip to continue. They watched the damage unfold and chose silence. Because as long as you were broken, you would always need them. They feared your healing. They feared your independence. Because once you were free, you might see them for who they really are. Inconsistent, controlling, emotionally unavailable. Now heaven is confronting all 3. One with exposure. One with separation. one with sorrow. God has drawn a circle around you. What was once scattered is being gathered. The parts of your soul you thought were forever lost are being returned piece by piece. As you continue reading, a spiritual realignment is happening. Your mind is being reset. Your spirit is being renewed. This is divine surgery. You are being untangled from people who only saw you as useful, not sacred. God is removing the hooks they placed in your identity. You are being given your name back, your voice back, your power back. And in the silence that follows this exposure, don't run back. Don't try to explain. Don't defend yourself to those who already decided who you are without knowing your heart. You don't need to clear the air when heaven is already fighting for you. Soon people will come to you. Vitally, Tully. They will say, I didn't know. I should have seen it. I'm sorry. And even if they don't, God saw it all. You don't need validation when you've already received vindication. The truth is rising like smoke from a fire that couldn't be hidden any longer. It will find its way into every room it needs to. And she, the woman who wore your trust like a costume, will feel the absence of your light. Not because you wished harm, but because she thrived off your spirit. She didn't love you. She loved your energy, your gentleness, your prophetic insight. She wanted to be you or control you or shape you. But she never wanted to cover you in prayer. She wanted to cover you in performance. And now God is revealing the roots. There was even a moment, yes, God shows it when she put something in your fruit or drink with an impure intention. Not poison, no, but a spiritual residue. A spoken word over the cup. A chant of jealousy. A silent wish to control your thoughts, your dreams, your connections. It was subtle. You felt sick later, didn't you? Tired. Off balance. That wasn't your body. That was your spirit reacting to the impurity. Be careful. You are spiritually sensitive. You cannot eat from every table. You cannot pray with every person. You must begin to discern who is light and who only pretends to carry it. Even now she is watching. Perhaps not physically, but spiritually. He is restless because she feels the shift. She feels your awakening. And she is afraid, not of you but of the truth coming to light. It will, bit by bit. And now God speaks again. Touch not my anointed. That's you. Even though you doubted it. Even though you questioned your worth. Even though you thought your mistakes made you disqualified. They didn't. In fact, your humility is what preserved you. You never tried to prove yourself to anyone. You just kept loving, kept giving, kept praying. And that is what saved you. Your silent tears were heard. Your hidden prayers were stronger than you realized. You have more power than you know. You carry divine light that intimidates the false. And now, the season of hiding is ending. God is calling you to stand. I for war, not for revenge, but for justice. The same spirit that whispered lies about you will now be silenced. Their words will fall flat. People will begin to see contradictions in their stories. Eyes are opening. Minds are questioning. And soon, even her closest supporters will quietly step back. There is a shift happening in her life too. Things will start to unravel. Not because you cursed her, but because God's justice cannot be delayed any longer. And in the place where she once stood, someone new is coming. Someone whose spirit is pure. Someone who doesn't want anything from you but your presence. someone who listens without recording, who comforts without controlling, who covers you in intercession, not judgment. They are coming. Be ready. They won't force their way in, but when they arrive, you will feel it. A peace like warm oil, a stillness like summer rays, a presence that finally lets you breathe. You are not meant to walk alone. But first, God must finish this cleansing. These next 7 days are crucial. There may be moments you feel tired. Grief will rise unexpectedly. Old memories will visit you. Don't resist it. Let it come. Let it wash over you. Let it leave. You are being emptied of every lie you ever believed about yourself. You are being stripped of false attachments and soul ties that never honored your spirit. There may be dreams vivid, strange, even unsettling. Do not be afraid. These are not warnings. These are releases. Heaven is detoxing your spirit through visions. Write them down. Speak only what brings peace. Stay quiet around those you're unsure of. You are in divine quarantine. God is protecting you from contamination in this season. That's why some people don't reply. That's why plans are falling through. That's why your body feels like it wants to rest more than usual. Trust it. Your spirit is in surgery. Let the healer work. Even now, Jesus is still begging for you. You won't stop until your heart is completely whole. Because what is coming next is bigger than anything you've prayed for. Your purpose is calling. Your true connections are approaching. Your soul is being prepared for sacred relationships, divine assignments, supernatural joy. But there is one more thing. Someone in your family, yes, family has also known about this woman's betrayal. Not directly, but spiritually. They've had dreams, warnings, a knowing, but they said nothing. Out of fear, out of comfort. They will come forward in the coming weeks. They will say, I had a feeling. Don't be angry. Just understand they weren't ready to carry the truth. But now they will support your healing. And this woman, she will try one last time. A message, a gift, a memory, maybe even an apology. But you must say no. Not hardly, but clearly. I release you, and I release myself from you, and then let her go. No more rehearsing conversations. No more wondering if you're being too harsh. You're not. You're protecting the anointing God has placed inside you. Because what's coming next, love, peace, purpose, protection, real friendship, financial restoration, spiritual clarity, and rest. So much rest. This is the turning. This is the new beginning. The woman is exposed. The fuss is falling, and the light is breaking through. You are safe now. The angels are singing your name in victory. And Jesus is smiling, still begging for you, but now with joy. You listened. You opened it. You saw the truth. And you are free. If you believe in God, type Amen.